Eric Bowe, can you say hello to all your friends, family here in the Atlanta area?
Hello to everyone out in Atlanta. I have a strong fondness for the Atlanta area and look forward to coming back and visiting after the flight to talk to everyone there.
Well, Colonel Bowe, tell us now. Debbie Huffman from the Fernbank Science Center tells us you always wanted to be an astronaut. Talk a little bit about this growing up in the Atlanta area.
Well, Atlanta really prepared me to do what I'm doing now. There was a program at the Fernbank Science Center, and that's where I met Debbie Huffman. I was doing it in a summer program, and she got me interested. They had some great educational science programs there, and I've maintained contact with her over these years, and so it's a great place to grow up and be ready. And like you said, I was ready. I've been thinking about being an astronaut all my life, and I was lucky enough to get the chance to do it.
Awesome. Henderson High School, Georgia Tech. You went on to be a fighter pilot first. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Well, I'm an aviation nut. I really enjoy being a fighter pilot, and as in the Air Force, I flew the F-4 and the F-15C, and a great experience. Being on the shuttle is a lot like being in a fighter. You're just a little higher up in the atmosphere.
And talk a little bit about what's going on there now for you. Got to be pretty exciting. Really, also kind of melancholy too, because this is the last flight for you guys there aboard Discovery. Talk about that.
Well, we're all honored and privileged to get the opportunity to fly on board Discovery and come back up to the space station. We just put on the last U.S. module, pressurized module with the permanent PMM. We ended up, it's a great opportunity to see the planet. Obviously, it's a bittersweet moment when we return Discovery home, but she's a great flying machine, and we leave a great legacy with the space shuttle, with Discovery being the first one to be retired.
Amazing. And folks are talking already about just what's going to go on. A lot of pilots probably won't be used in the space program anymore. So talk a little bit about how you feel since you're so prepared for this and you might not get that opportunity to pilot again.
Well, hopefully if I'm lucky enough, I'll get the chance to pilot some other vehicle in the future. It feels they are still going to be taking pilots into the astronaut program, especially with test pilot experience. Most of the pilots in the NASA Astronaut Corps have test pilot experience, and that helps with a lot of the specialty work of checking out new vehicles. And these vehicles don't fly very often, so that's a good reason to bring in, test flights the same kind of way. Every space shuttle flight we fly is a test flight, and whatever new vehicle that we have come online after this is going to need test flying as well. So if I'm lucky, I'll get the opportunity to do that.
Awesome. Now talk a little bit about, so much of what you all do, people think of it as just being up in space and really not a big effect to what we have back here, but you all have created and helped to create so many products that we use every day and that folks are using here right now, the GPS systems, some other things. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's all kinds of technologies that come out of the space program, and right now that's the big purpose of the International Space Station is to continue that kind of research. It's a national test facility, and we have over 150 experiments going on board the space station right now, and just about anything that you can name of the small computers that everyone has now, the miniaturization all came through a lot of that work came through the space program. There are many other things that, as well, technologies that come along the way through the space program.
Nicole Stott, Mike Berry, we're not going to leave you all hanging by there, too. We just, don't get a chance to talk to Eric much. So talk to us about your experiences there with him. What's he like as a comrade up in space?
Well, we were talking earlier on another event that we have a crew of 6 amateur comedians, but there's 2 of them that kind of stand out and keeping the rest of us in stitches, and Eric is one of those. But, he mentioned that he's an aviation nut, and he was a fighter pilot, but a lot of us know him as an aviation instructor. and we fly with him a lot. And he's definitely got a teacher's hand. And believe me, if you can take a doctor like me and make me fly supersonic jets effectively as a flight engineer, then that really says something. And overall, he's just always on top of his game and just always all over the flight plan that we're trying to execute, and just a pleasure to fly with.
Man, he's going to have to pay you later for those comments. How about you, Nicole?
Well, one of the things that comes to mind, especially with this flight, is that the three of us here, as well as two other of our crew members, were part of the same astronaut class. We are called the Bugs, and we were selected in the year 2000. So when you mention comrade, it's like there's a camaraderie here, I think, that is really deep. We've spent a long time training together, and it's a real joy to get to fly with people like Eric that we've worked so hard with on the ground. And like Mike mentioned, flying with Eric both in airplanes close to our Earth and on a space shuttle up here a little bit further away has just been a real joy. He, out of nowhere, will make you just crack up. And at the same time, and I think it's one of these things that I found really pleasant about some of the training that we have, is that we have these true professionals, people that are seriously and just in them know the technical stuff they need to know. But on the other hand, you have this personality that just makes it, makes them the kind of people you want to be with, especially when you're off the planet circling our Earth.
Oh, wonderful. We've got two more quick things. Back here at home, Eric, we are doing something. It's called Rachel's Challenge, but it's adding a link, getting people to do acts of kindness all over. You guys are doing something huge for everyone on the planet. Would love for you to just say, I'm Eric Bowe, and I'm adding a link for us. We'd love to use that line, and we're going to get you to, oh, cannot do that, okay? They told me cannot do it. So the other thing I wanted to say is you guys have a big interview coming up later today. You're going to be speaking with the Commander-in-Chief.
That's right. We'll be talking to the president later today, and we're really looking forward to it.
All right. Some of the things that you can expect that he'll be talking about.
I imagine he'll be talking some of the things that we've already talked about today, the science that's going on board, and, the path forward to the future. We obviously have the space shuttles retiring, so I imagine he'll talk about the path forward that we plan on occurring, and probably some other current event type things.
All right. Well, we are so excited that you guys are having an opportunity to talk to us here. Really appreciate your time. We will be using this very well in our newscast. So thank you so much for your time, and have a safe trip back home for Monday.
We thank you very much, and literally look forward to coming back to the Atlanta area. Thank you very much.
All righty.